so bright. Hey, this is Indigenous Patriot. Thank you for joining me. Got a nice new lamp thanks to a donation that I received. I appreciate it, Patricia. In any case, what we're going to discuss today will be Chris Wallace and a Trump advisor go at it over masks. They got a social distance, I'm sorry. They debate masks at the debate, okay? I don't know why I did that. We'll have a new segment called WTF INTERNET. It's like, what the internet? What you doing? What you doing? So let me know if you enjoy that one. And we'll cover a festival that we've talked about in the past. Tomorrow will be the last day, but they have an exciting update that I'm just going to keep ringing the bells about because I'm so excited. Join us after the break. Be a back and forth between Steve Cortes and Chris Wallace. It's not going to be quite as much a Trump versus Biden back and forth. And a couple things I want to point out before we get started. First of all, where was the Chris Wallace that you're going to see during the debate? This Chris Wallace is like, whoosh, and the Chris Wallace at the debate was like, now guys, let's cut it out. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Also, this discussion is going to have to deal with whether or not the Trumps were following procedure in the district that they were in as it pertains to COVID. So were they social distancing? Were they wearing masks? And why not? Watch the distancing between the chairs. You're going to notice from different angles, you might see something diagonal, but there's going to come a point where you're going to see two chairs that are on an equal level, I suppose. See for yourself if you believe that the chairs were social distanced.
Before they get on.
Steve, it doesn't matter. Steve, it doesn't matter. Everybody that was in that room was tested. Steve, everybody that was in that room was tested. And the Cleveland Clinic's regulation was it didn't matter. Everybody, except for the three of us on the stage, was to wear a mask. And people from the Cleveland Clinic came over and offered the first family masks, thinking maybe they didn't have them. They were waved away. And the Commission on Presidential Debates has issued a statement saying, from now on, if you don't wear a mask, you're going to be escorted from the hall. So forget this question of being tested beforehand. Everybody was tested beforehand.
Here we go with the sidestepping,
I'm going to finish my question. Everybody was told to wear a mask. Why did the first family and the chief of staff feel that the rules for everybody else didn't apply to them?
Chris, we believe that masks are very useful. The president has worn them on many occasions, including visiting the hospital where he's now a patient. When he was visiting as commander-in-chief as a guest to visit soldiers there, he wore a mask. So we believe in masks. We also believe in some element of individual choice. People were distanced and they had been tested.
Also,
both of those things were true in that convention.
No, Steve, they weren't distanced and there were rules and there was no freedom.
Masks. We also believe.
Okay. So right there where you see Tiffany, okay, the one in the front, in case you're not familiar with Trump's spawn, over her left shoulder, you'll see another female with blonde hair. That's Eric's wife, if I'm not mistaken. Look behind her shoulder, right there. It's to her right, but to our left. Or maybe it's to everybody's left. I don't really know how this video is going to end up going, okay? But watch.
Worn them on many occasions, including visiting the hospital where he's now a patient. When he was visiting as commander-in-chief as a guest to visit soldiers there, he wore a mask. So we believe in masks. We also believe in some element of individual choice. People were distanced and they had been tested. Both of those things were true in that convention hall.
No, Steve, they weren't distanced and there were rules and there was no freedom of choice. They broke the rules.
I was there like you were, and they were distanced.
Why did they break
were
the
not
rules?
Close together. Look, those chairs were not close together. And again, we also believe that people.
It doesn't matter, Steve. The rules from the Cleveland Clinic were close together, Steve. And the rules from the Cleveland Clinic were everybody wears a mask. Why didn't they?
Chris, the way you're starting to harangue me now actually reminds me of what you did to the president during that debate.
Has he answered the question that was posited to him? The original question: why weren't they wearing the masks? Why does he keep sidestepping the answer, and why do we keep allowing it to happen? And by we, I mean the people, okay? So part of the argument that we see all the time is the difference in what different sides of the media portray, okay? But in the end, both sides end up portraying a very similar media. Well, what the difference is the narrative that comes between the two of them. Okay? So currently, it is my view that there is a lot of sidestepping going on instead of actually answering questions. It's like, you know, why did you steal that vase over there? Ooh, look, it's a shooting star. It's like the oldest trick in the book. Hey, look behind you, or your shoes are tied. Okay? It's the same type of bait and switch, I suppose, is a good term for it.
Tuesday night when he had to debate not just Joe. No, and then he had to debate not just Joe Biden, but you as well. Mean? You were not a neutral moderator then. I don't mind tough questions. I welcome reasonably tough questions. But what I don't think is okay is for you to become the effective opposition to the president. Okay, and everyone there was tested in the crowd. They were distanced from each other. People can make reasonable decisions for themselves.
No, they can't. They're the rules, and they'll be kicked out next time. Steve, let me just simply say the president interrupted me and the vice president 145 times, so I object to saying I harangued the president. I know it's the talking point.
He goes on to ask him a question that is irrelevant, okay? But the point of all of this, in my personal opinion, let's close that out. The point of all of this is, why did the Trumps feel it was appropriate to flaunt the rules when the rules stated that they were supposed to wear masks? Now, some of us may go, my freedom, but I'm going to point out to you this. If you're going to push a law and order perspective, then you have to follow law and order. That means that if a particular event has a dress code, you need to follow the dress code. That's exactly what it is. Saying that it's a hindrance of my expression of freedom it's inappropriate, because you are bypassing a dress code put into place by this particular event. They have the right to follow that dress code. In fact, it's more than a right, okay? But whether or not the mandate is there, if they tell you that these are what the rules are, you should be following that, okay? So why didn't we get an answer to that particular question? That's something that I'm wondering. Why are we continuing to sidestep law and order when it pertains to the Trumps? That's my gallery, and you don't see a Chris Evans in there, do you? Because I don't take pictures of my junk. In any case, this particular segment is going to be called WTF Internet, and if people really enjoy it, I'm going to continue doing it. What is it? It's where I'm going to find memes, and maybe you'll send them to me on Twitter. Memes, GIFs, and things that are in some way stupid, and maybe we can discuss them. I was going to bring up a particular screenshot that came from Kate's Unsafe Space, but the problem is that in doing so, it's advertising these stupid masks that she happens to be wearing, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to put any money into her pocket. I think that listen, I'm not against conservative causes, and I'm not against liberal causes. I kind of like both sides in certain instances. I don't believe in blanket statements, okay? But what I really don't like is the owning libs BS and the owning conservatives BS. Okay, I think that people go out of their way to be divisive. Considering the fact that although I am centerline, I lean more towards the left than I do the right. Though I'm gonna discuss things as it pertains to politics from when they're making fun of libs perspective. I'm generally not going to post a lot of stuff that's making fun of conservatives, because I don't quite have the frame of reference to defend all of it reasonably. I like to stay educated, but I don't want to say that I'm some kind of conservative expert. So the first one that we're going to discuss is just ridiculous. Kissing the coronavirus. So this came from Goodreads. It actually came from a screenshot on a Facebook group that I'm on, but It originates on Goodreads, which I'm also a member of. So it's a book by M.J. Edwards. Read it if you want. It currently has a 1.30 rating out of 37 people rated it, and it averaged a 1.30 rating. So I guess it doesn't have the perfect 0. I guess it has a little bit for somebody. So here's the description. She was supposed to cure the coronavirus. Instead, she fell in love with it. Dr. Alexa Ashingford is part of a crack team of scientists tasked with finding the cure to the devastating coronavirus. Little did she know she would end up falling in love with it in this steamy viral erotica. Kissing Coronavirus is a steamy tale about forbidden love and dark desires come to life. Like, so we have virus porn now. It's like, hey, common cold, you were once sexy mama. I just don't get it. Like, like you have to fetishize a virus. What is going on? 2020, the year where we started making love to things that kill. Actually, that's nothing new. I think we've been doing that since the dawn of man. And I like to specifically state man, because I think women are a little more intelligent than that. That's not to say that this was written by a man. I have no clue who M.J. Edwards happens to be. Maybe we can look into it in the future, right? So the next one that we're gonna talk, what the internet, is gonna be this piece of artwork. It's, first of all, I'm not entirely sure it's as bad as this is the future libertarians want. It has 2 flamingos attacking a dude. He's like, but he's got the flannel on. There's a nun on his back, and she's an attractive looking nun getting ready to hit one of the maybe that's like an Alice in Wonderland, and she's got the little Yip Yip Toto dog behind her. There's a volcano in the background and some palm trees. Everybody's being attacked by flamingos. I'm not really sure why flamingos are attacking her. You got the 2 dudes in the background, the ones with the hand, the one Indiana Jones there with a handgun, and the other dude's like dole wheeling. He's like, dish, 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 dish. It must be Florida or something, and in Florida, man is just sending flamingos after people. I like the guy in the, he's got a Y carved in his chest, and he's got the long hair, but he's like, flamingos. In any case, it's like, what the internet? Maybe that would be a cool future. I don't know. When flamingos attack. I don't know. This may be the last time that I'm going to talk about this current Vision Maker Media Festival. And that's because it ends on the 5th, which according to the video date today happens to be tomorrow. This is a film festival that you can watch movies and short films that are done by indigenous people and contain topics that are interesting to us. There's a wide variety of them too. You have fiction stories, you have documentaries, you even have a Lego reenactment of a movie called Powell Highway, which we'll discuss. We're going to discuss the actual movie, not the 4-minute short film. Maybe we could discuss that at some point, but we're going to do that in another video. The real reason why I'm discussing this with you, though, is the fact that on the 30th and the 31st, they're doing a Halloween version. So it's going to be, they call it Indigenous Halloween Film Fest, October 30th through 31st, 2020. Okay? And generally what it's going to be is films done by indigenous people that have a Halloween horror kind of thing. It says, welcome spooky season fans. We'd like to present Nightmare Vision Indigenous Online Halloween Film Fest. Join us for a weekend of horror films produced by and featuring indigenous people. And you can sign up for updates if you go to the website, visionmakermedia.org. I'm going to leave a link to that down below. I am so stoked. I love horror. I love indigenous culture. Combining the 2 of them is just A-okay. There'll be there'll be at least 2 indigenous horror books I will discuss over time, and 2 indigenous horror movies I will discuss over time this month. So stay tuned. It'll get that horror kick, and I bet you probably haven't read the books themselves, because you really have to look into indigenous authors to see them. Did you go back and check to see if those chairs were far enough apart? What'd you think? It's not like I can hear what you're thinking, so leave it down below. Leave a comment down below. But I don't think that they were far enough apart. Back in the day, I shouldn't say back in the day, because it's only been this year, but it feels like it's been such a long year. I remember guidance stating that the droplets from conversation and sneezing and things could reach up to 14 feet, but obviously they rolled that back real quick because it didn't fit the narrative. That's my take on it. Maybe your take is that it was just wrong, and that could be the truth too. But I still think it just didn't fit the narrative. So let me know what you think about that. If you watch any of the videos from Vision Maker Media, let me know about that as well, because I'm going to be watching as many of the horror ones as possible. It's like taking 2 of my favorite things and putting it together. It's like taking Cocoa Puff cereal and taking the marshmallows from Lucky Charms and combining them into one cereal. I have that cereal. It came from Big Lots. It was like $3 or something for a big old bag of it. Because some cereals come in bags, I guess. I guess it's like wine that comes in a box. I don't know. And you can get milk in a box too. So whatever. I guess that's more normal for certain people than me. If you enjoy what we're doing, we being the proverbial we, because it's just me, please subscribe down below. I'll be experimenting with new topics, trying out new things. If you like the WTF internet, what the internet, send me some stuff. I'm going to try to stay away from things that are insulting conservatives, only because what I intend to do is discuss what I think that they mean and be as least offensive about it as possible, because the actual things themselves are pretty offensive and I don't need to assist with it. I just wanted to discuss what I think the thought process is behind it and have a couple laughs. Hit the subscribe button. Lepichkanawe. I'll see you again.